Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and while I was sleeping last night, I got punched, kicked, elbowed, you name it, because my 8-year-old decided that he was going to get in my bed, and that is never a good thing because this kid cannot just sleep. He elbowed me right in the middle of the back. He punched me in the arm. And he would have, when he's in the bed and if I turn and I'm facing towards him, I literally have a move where I position my hand over my nose so he can't break my nose in the middle of the night. And so then I woke up at 5 in the morning. I got tired of being kicked and punched and woke up at 5 this morning. And so, we're on extra coffee this morning. Okay. Well, the market has been, yesterday it went down a good bit. A lot of correction and flattening out and that type thing going on. XRP is kind of remaining in that 28 cent to 30 cent range. But, I think that's a good thing because things consolidate a lot after you have a good run up. But the fact that it's kind of consolidated and staying in that range to me is a pretty good sign. Okay, wanted to show you this from the World Gold Council. In July, gold ETFs recorded their 8th consecutive month of positive flows, adding 166, is that trillion? Equivalent to, no, 166T, equivalent to US 9.7 billion, AUM, assets under management. Once again, this brought global holdings to a new all-time high. Explore more in our recent gold ETFs data and commentary. So, everybody is getting spooked and freaked out, and that is why the only place to be is precious metals and crypto, specifically XRP, the greatest digital asset ever created. Now, I wanted to show you this. This was an interesting tweet I saw this morning. We were talking yesterday about the Flare network. XRP fans Flare from Flare Network document published by CEO. Wilts, we have been in stealth mode for the past 2 years. WTF. In terms of current partners, an in stealth regulated security token exchange, who might this be, then? Thought that was and then he goes, okay, he copied it, to me. All right. Now I saw an article this morning. This is an article from a few days ago, but this jumped out at me and I'm going to show you why. Crypto derivatives getting ready to explode. Delta Exchange CEO speaks. His name is Pangaj Balani. I know I butchered that. Sorry. On the current and future trends taking place in the cryptocurrency derivatives market. Now I'm going to read you some of his quotes. This was a video, but they've got most of his good quotes in here. So I'm going to read some of these to you, and we'll go over it. If you look at crypto derivatives market, we are amid an explosion that's currently happening. I'm not going to try to say his name again while I'm talking because I'm not going to just continually just butcher it over and over. The rate at which we've grown over the last 2 years on the derivative side is phenomenal and is only going to continue from here. Then he goes on. The reason I say this quite confidently is that I've taken examples from other markets, seeing the growth that's happened there. If you look at equity markets, there's about $65 trillion to $70 trillion of market cap outstanding across the globe, all companies put together. And if you see the derivatives on top of it, there's close to $800 trillion worth of derivatives outstanding. This varies between 8 to 10 times. If you look at FX markets, you have roughly 1 trillion to 2 trillion of FX trading on a daily basis. And you have FX generators, which trade about 4 billion on a daily basis. So the rule of thumb is that derivatives are markets that are somewhere between 5 to 7 times the size of the underlying spot markets, he explained. This is not true for cryptos as of yet. And then he goes on. From there on, we have come to a point where there's parity between volumes of cryptocurrency spot markets and cryptocurrency derivatives markets. But still, there's a long way to go. I think in the next 5 years, It is the derivatives market. The derivatives market is going to be 5 times the size of the spot market. Another important feature of the derivatives market, if you look at it globally, is that most of the Bitcoin derivatives volume are currently dominated by Bitcoin futures, and now, to some extent, Bitcoin options. That has happened only in the last 2 months. This has happened because for the first time, we've seen Bitcoin volatility getting crushed on a sustained basis. Indeed, for much of May, June, July, the price of Bitcoin stayed roughly between 8,800 and 9,800. More and more sophisticated traders are coming in to the market and shorting volatility, trying to capture the upside. Even Bitcoin futures have much lower volume as compared to spot markets. When you go deeper in the space, when you look at Ethereum, when you look at BNB, Link, and other coins, the volumes of futures and perpetual swaps is much lower as compared to spot volumes. The big shift happened in 2018 when people found a way to short Bitcoin. He said that was the use case that allowed derivatives and futures to become commonplace. After the bull run of 2017, everyone was looking for the next trade. The next trade was to short Bitcoin because it was going lower. And then he goes on. So now when markets are going up, there'll be participation on upside as well using leverage trading. This is something that we did not see in the 2017 rally. Most of the 2017 move up was spot dominated. Another area that we expect to grow heavily for Bitcoin is options, which has already happened for Bitcoin in the last 1 to 2 months. But there is much more possible from here. This trade of selling options, I'm just reading you the quotes, and I think that it all paints the picture here, folks. This trade of selling options and looking to capture the premium that is offered by the market volatility and other options is a staple trade for lots of traders in traditional markets. We are seeing more of that happening in the cryptocurrency space as well. This is a space where we will probably see the top 10 coins participate, not so much the longer tail, he explained. There will be huge growth in this area as well. We already have futures for Bitcoin. We already have futures for 30 other altcoins. We have built technology to be able to offer futures in 100 altcoins, mind you. Let me see if there's anything else. The requirements. Let me go down here. Here it is. This is the part. Another theme that we see is that there are a lot of sophisticated traders entering the market now. For the first time, we are seeing the institutional money is entering the market in a sizable way. That money is going to create lots of opportunities which are available in traditional markets. So, for example, trading straight between 2 different maturity levels, Bitcoin futures, etc. And then he goes, so for example, we are launching spread calendars and spread contracts. Anyway, he's going on and on about how this is going to be where the real growth is, derivatives. Now, the reason I wanted to go through that with you is this, okay? But first, before I go through it, I want to show you, this is that guy's company, Delta Exchange. Our vision, if you look at their vision, what do you see? Built and backed by a world-class team, and it's got Stellar as part of the team, okay? That they're backed by, all right? Now, remember, we're talking about derivatives. Brianna Madigan, this is a tweet, November 8th, 2019. So glad we finally got to meet. She's talking to Michael Arrington here. See you in San Francisco. It was lovely to meet you. The new Catherine Coley. Awesome to hear about the companies developing derivative products for XRP. Okay, so this whole derivative discussion keeps me fascinated, and the reason why, and here's another. This is from Brianna Madigan on August the 3rd. Last quarter saw significant industry growth with macro hedge fund interest and regulators proposing new policy frameworks supporting crypto, among other things. For XRP specifically, new integrations, product innovations, and options, derivatives developments helped deepen market liquidity. Now, what does this all remind me of? It reminds me of one of the 3 or 4 or 5 accounts on Twitter and Steemit that I have seen who I'm drawn to because I think that they know something or know somebody that knows something, and this is one of them. Esoteric XRP. Continuing XRP plus Polysign plus Codius equals tokenizing derivatives market, all the money. Miguel Valles, early days, Codius. Susan Athey, 700 trillion global derivatives market. And then they're talking about Ethereum 2.0. All right. Codius in beta. All right. This is the video that they're linking to. Watch this.
So my first question is, was Codius created to compete with Ethereum? And how was that?
Codius might have been before Ethereum.
Okay, no, okay. So
Yeah. I don't know the timing. I wasn't, so Vitalik slept on Stefan's couch for about 6 weeks back in like 2013. So Stefan's our CTO. He's our like wonderkind. He's our genius. He's the one who came up with ILP. And Stefan knows Vitalik very well. So I think there was a lot of collaboration there between, not like, months of work between Vitalik and Stefan, but just a lot of mind melding. And I don't think it was a coincidence that after Vitalik left Ripple, he didn't work for us, but he kind of interned for the wall, just kind of hung out. Back in 2013, this wasn't very structured, right? It was just kind of a bunch of people in a room dreaming, really. I think, Vitalik and Stefan, if I line up a little bit, they went off and did similar things. So Codius wasn't meant to compete with Ethereum per se, but it was, I think, meant to do similar things. And Codius is not dead, by the way. I think we may have some appetite to do some stuff with Codius, but in a much more, I think, defined way of benefiting.
Like derivatives.
So Ripple Labs has a
Now,
platform
this is Susan Athey, who's on Ripple's board of directors.
called Codius, and there's another one called Ethereum out there. And both of them are trying to help people write what they call smart contracts, or computer programs that distribute money. So like the Codius platform would allow you to write a program, and it'll make it easy for people to verify the program works, that would say, if these 5 things happen, then this person gets paid. If these other 3 things happen, this other person gets paid. So we could just, for example, you could think about some sort of complex financial derivative. We could take as an input the Bloomberg feed of stock prices, and we could make very complex bets about, well, if this stock goes up and this stock goes down and this other thing happens and the National Weather Service says it's sunny today, then this person gets paid. And if these other things happen, someone else gets paid. So that's going to really reduce the barriers to entry for creating financial derivative products, and it's going to allow more people to hedge more complicated situations where there's not enough people right now to make the market worthwhile to create the asset and have it verified.
Largest market in the world. And that's, by the way, this is from Anders Lundberg, so I need to subscribe to him. Give him a subscribe. And that was a good one. Okay, now, this all leads down a similar path. This is back to this esoteric XRP. I can't stop looking at some of these people's feeds because things have started. For me, I didn't even believe half this stuff 2 years ago. It has taken me 2 years to say, you know what? I remember this here and this there and this. Now it all makes sense. For those who followed Kendra Hill, remember, Ripple will partner with Amazon Web Services. Codius is not dead. XRP with Codius will be unmatched. Ripple's cross-border payments is not the target. The derivatives market is. 1 XRP will be worth more than 1 ounce of gold. Now, folks, I didn't say it. They said it, okay? Now, look down here. They know that the average investor is not capable of critical thinking, so they will hide the truth to keep the price low for a while. Ripple and Stellar are a team, which reminds me, we recently heard that Ripple is buying XRP, and we always hear that Jed McCaleb is selling XRP. I wonder if Ripple is buying any of the XRP from Jed McCaleb. That's a good question. Ripple and Stellar are a team. With the Lumen cross-border payments are not needed. XRP will one day be worth more than 1 ounce, 1 gold ounce, and that is only a 5-year price prediction. Time tells all. I don't want to get crazy and say too much, so I will let time reveal everything. If you choose not to hold any XRP, that will be your regret. Then XRP Yo-Yo, another interesting account. Codius is the most advanced smart contract that will ever exist. XRP and Codius are going to be used. XRP and Codius are going to be used. The entire $1 quadrillion derivatives market. XRP is not a currency; it's a digital gold asset. And then there was this. David Schwartz yesterday tweeted this out. My colleague, Stefan Thomas, who slept on the couch, Vitalik Buterin, I think, slept on his couch that created Ethereum. And I had an awesome conversation about the early days of blockchain and working together on XRPL and ILP. Listen to part 1. We're going to back the future. Okay, now I went and listened to this. Now look, I'm going to tell you the truth. Anytime I hear all this developer speak, I go to sleep, especially when my son forces me to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I did listen to the whole thing, and he talks about Codius in here, okay? Now, there's one phrase that I have not heard Stefan Thomas, and I won't leave the Codius thing until I hear one of them say it. I have not heard I listened to this whole thing. Stefan Thomas did not say that Codius is dead. I also, and Codius's website is still up, okay? Now, and then I went and I looked for every mention that David Schwartz has ever mentioned Codius, and he has never, not in any of the things I've seen, he has never uttered the phrase that Codius is dead. He has said things that made him, he's a master with words, and he's very good at making things seem like they could go either way, like this one. Unfortunately, at least for now, Codius is a victim of the fact that Ripple can't do everything we might want to do. If I wasn't working at Ripple, I'd build a business around Codius. Well, that means that Codius is still alive because he's acknowledging that it's there to build a business around. So Codius is not dead. And then Miguel Valles said Codius is not dead, right? So all of these things just make sense. Now, just to leave you with a final thought, I've shown you this before. All the work we've heard Evan Schwartz say, all the money, because that's what we're talking about, is all the money. The derivatives market is all of the money. These little blocks represent how big these markets are. Silver is 43.9 billion, and each block, the more blocks you have, the more you represent. Gold, Fortune 500, stock markets, money supply, global debt, global real estate, and global wealth, 360 trillion. Then you get on down to the derivatives. Gross market value, 11.6 trillion. Notional value, 558 trillion. And then you go down to the bottom, notional value, $1.1 quadrillion, folks. Before I leave you, I want to remind you, if, the Digital Asset Investor newsletter is the place to be. Every month, I'm going to send out one email, and I'm going to tell you which digital assets that I currently own and anything else blockchain related that I own. I'm not going to tell you what you should own. I'm just going to tell you what I currently own. Okay. Because I'm not a financial advisor. But I just wanted to let everybody know that this is in the description of every video I do. And so you can put your name and email address in and subscribe, and it's for free. So, go and subscribe because I don't want you to be left out. It's heading towards 2,000 people so far, but we crossed 1,000 within the first week on the subscribers there. I just don't want you to be left out. I don't want your friends and family to be making fun of you and saying, haha, you're not on the Digital Asset Investor newsletter. I don't want that to happen to you. You don't need to have that criticism directed towards you. I'm the Digital Asset Investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe and hit the like button and tell your friends and family that they can't make fun of you for not being on the Digital Asset Investor newsletter, because you are on it. Thank you for listening.